Hey, it's me, GV, and welcome to GV Guides, ladies and gentlemen. This is a guide for Lady Ethereal. Hoo boy, first phase 3 boss, first 3-phase boss in this game, 9 souls, and it's a fun fight. It reminds me of the Mantis Lords from Hollow Knight. This game feels so much like Hollow Knight. Like, the more I play it, it just feels so much like it. But, anyways, yeah, this is a 3-phase fight, and she is a lot. There's a lot of things happening. So I'm sure people are going to have trouble with this one. We'll start with where she is, if you don't know, here in the Cortex Center. As you progress through the game, you will eventually have to go here and finish this. But, yeah, my build is actually important for this. Now, the water flow is good to use, but I really don't have very often, I don't have a lot of opportunities to use the talisman. That is probably a strategy you can implement, but the problem is she creates clones that are fake. So if you waste a talisman on those, it's like, nothing happens. The Cloud Piercer. So it's really good to hit her a whole bunch of times and then finish her off with an arrow in phase 2 or 3. So I go for phase 2. But yeah, you want Cloud Piercer because the homing one doesn't really do much because of the clones, and then also the area of effect, you just don't have a lot of time because she disappears and reappears. So I recommend the Cloud Piercer S, and then Transmute unto Life. I mean, I don't think this even matters. You might be able to get HP if you kill a clone, but I don't think that matters for me. And then also Jades, yeah, once again, Avarice and Cultivation, which you can obviously take off and switch around. I like to get good at these fights on a base level, regardless of bonuses or anything, just because a lot of these types of games come down to mechanics and implementing them. So anyways, these don't matter, but I do have the Focus Jade, which is really nice because I do like the charge attack in this game, and it has a huge hitbox, so I do recommend the Focus Jade. And then finally, as far as skills, once again, just the standard stuff, damage and anything that sounds good. I always go for passive things just because I don't want to have to think of 15,000 attacks to do. So, passive buffs basically is what we're doing here. Now, holy moly, Lady Ethereal, Lady Ethereal, I think that's her name. She has 3 phases. Now, the first phase is easy peasy. Like, once you get the hang of it, it's nothing. It's basically free. All you're doing is, just dashing or jumping or doing both to get out of her attack, and then charging up a big attack and then hitting her when she stops, which stuns her, and then you can lay into her like 4 times. You don't want to waste any resources on her in the first phase because it's basically a free phase. So yeah, if she slams down, you dash, and then you charge attack her. If she does the Tai Chi, you can go for the Tai Chi kick, but really, again, you can just jump over it and then charge attacker. If she goes for, she'll do like a big swooping slash, which you can either dash through or time a reflect, and then charge attacker. If sometimes she'll do 2 slashes, 1 and then 2, so 2 deflects or just dash through it. And yeah, anything that she has is super easily just jumped over or dashed through, and then you retaliate with a big charged hit and then smack her. Very easy first phase, as you will see in this upcoming footage. Now, the second phase, she summons 2 clones, and it's very weird because it seems to me like there's not really a way to tell. Sometimes you can see her face, and then it's the real one, but it's not consistent. So I don't know if there's a tell. It feels like there's not. I really tried looking for it. Other times, it'll be the first clone that spawns will be the real one, and then other times it'll always be like the last one, like the third, fourth, or fifth clone that appears will be her. And the reason I mention this is because when you hit the real one with a charged attack or use anything to stun her, all the clones will disappear, and then you can lay into her like 3 hits and then press Y to shoot an arrow for more damage. So that's what you're doing. You're basically trying to find the real one, land a charged hit, which stuns her, and then you can hit her a bunch and land an arrow. And that will delete phase 2 quickly. And then the clones are obviously doing all the things that she does in the first phase. So once again, just jumping or dashing through. She'll also summon a little purple orb, which you can just parry. It's like kind of a free attack. Very easy. And then finally, for the last phase, basically she'll summon like a whole bunch of clones, so it gets crazy, just faster. And then also she'll do this big spirit bomb attack, which she slams down. So what you want to do is a clone appears, and then slashes, and then she slams. So what you want to do is deflect, and then make sure to dash so you get the iframes when she slams the spirit bomb. You really want to do that because that deals crazy damage. and you want to be in a good spot for the third phase because the third phase is where stuff gets crazy. Now, you can use the arrows to get rid of the clones if multiple line up, but really what you're doing is trying to find the real one. Usually she'll appear up to the right or up to the left, and you'll see her without like the shadow, you know, she'll have her real face, and you want to hit her with a charge attack. You can barely do it because she's up in the air, but that will stun her. So that's the big hint for that. So all that being said, let's jump into it. It's going to be much easier to understand what I'm saying when you see what I'm talking about. All right, so Lady Ethereal. Yeah, fun fight. Difficult for sure, especially with 3 phases. Basically, you're always going to be holding X or square or whatever. Basically, you always want to be charging up your attack. If she slams, you just dash. If she does those arrows, easily just dash into them and just always release that charge attack to basically stun her. You can see just how easy this is. The only hard things is the double slash she does there, and then also a swooping slash, which you're going to have to time pressing L1 to be able to not take damage from that. But yeah, you can see how fast phase 1 goes. Literally just hold that charge and release it, and you'll constantly stun her. Now, in this second phase, she's going to have 2 clones that are going to repeat her attacks. And basically what you're doing is you're always just looking for the right moment to release your charge attack to try to find the right one. So right here, we found the right one, so we're going to smack her a whole bunch of times, rinse and repeat. And if you can get an arrow shot off, you want to do that as well for some extra damage. But yeah, you're basically just always holding X or square or whatever in order to release to find the real one. And if you can hit multiple, that's good too. When she does the 3 daggers, it's just L1, 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 easy peasy. You can also regain some health. And when she does the purple orb, just jump and press L1 on it to remove it. Super easy. And yeah, this second phase just takes forever. So this is the real killer, honestly. This is the worst phase out of the 3 in my opinion. But yeah, you're always just trying to find that real one and then get at least 3 or 4 hits in and press Y in order to get an arrow out as well if you can. And that's pretty much it. So 3 daggers, yeah, and you can also just remove the shadows as soon as you see them if you have enough time too. But tap L1 3 times, you'll also get the key charges as well, which with my build, I'm using to empower my charge attack, so I'm not really using the talismans here. But yeah, really not too bad. It's only the double slashes and the swooping slash that kind of throws you off, because those come out, you know, pretty fast, and you have to be able to adapt to them. But yeah, everything else, you can pretty much just jump or dash out of the way. It's not too bad. All right, so now we're entering phase 3. Now, she'll always start with the spirit bomb attack, so what you're looking to do is tap L1 twice when they swoop in to attack you, and then dash. So here they come. She's going to summon 2 clones here. L1, L1, dash, and then you can release the charged attack as you're falling to deal a ton of damage to her. And that's really good because you can basically repeat that every single time that happens. And now, yeah, it all becomes about avoiding these guys until you can see the real one. So there's the real one. She doesn't have the shadows on her face, so I release the charged attack, which stuns her, and then I get in as many attacks as I can. Now, that sounds all well and good, but in this phase, she goes way faster. So it comes down to RNG. You see right there, she just did the purple orb, so it's really easy to find her and just hit her and stun her and deal some damage. But when she does a lot of crazy stuff back to back to back, it obviously gets really hard to avoid everything. But as you can see, I'm doing a good job of finding where the real one is and dodging everything else, just constantly looking where the real one is. Where is she? Where is she? She'll eventually appear. There she is. So I stun her, slash her a whole bunch of times, and yeah, this third phase is going super well. Now, you can obviously use the empowered counter and also the reflex and also the Tai Chi kick if you prefer that style. For me, I just preferred kind of, you know, jumping and dashing over everything and then reflecting when I really needed to, like there with the little daggers. You know, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to reflect here. It's going to be better. So here she goes again. So I'm going to reflect, dash. As I'm falling, release my charged attack to get a whole bunch of free damage in on her, you know, while she's in the air, which is huge because I don't even know if the game really wants you to be able to do that because it, you know, she's hovering in the air. So she's going to do it again here. So I'm getting ready. Reflect, dash, and release. And that should be her killed. Down goes Lady Ethereal. So yeah, let's go ahead and recap. So first phase, super duper easy. It might take you a couple of tries to really get it down, but really you're just jumping and dashing out of the way of her singular attacks and then releasing a big charged attack when you can. And yeah, it's super duper easy. Second phase gets a little bit harder because obviously she has the clones. Anytime you see her face, you want to go for that. I don't know how consistent it is. Sometimes, it's hard to reveal the actual one. And if you can weave in arrow attacks, you want to do that for a little bit of extra damage. Here's the dagger attack, L1, L1, L1. That gets pretty easy to practice and get down, and then also you'll get the key charges, which will empower your talismans or your charged attack, which again is the strategy I'm using. And then, yeah, just remember, whenever you deal damage to these clones, they will disappear. So you can choose to either avoid their attacks or you could just damage them if you want. But the strategy that I used is constantly holding that charged attack, because if you find the real one but you don't stun her, you won't be able to do much damage. She'll just disappear. So for me, I was like, okay, well, I'm just always going to hold that charge attack and always try to go for the clones, because if it's the real one, I know she'll be, stunned, and then I can follow up with a lot more damage. So here you could do the Tai Chi kick if you want, but yeah, I just keep holding that charged attack. Here you just want to dash out of the way. It might look difficult, but with practice, this stuff is very easy for the most part. It's only really the slash attacks and the swooping slash that I was talking about. And then, yeah, finally in that last phase, just get ready. Don't freak out. Tap L1 to, reflect the two charges that the clones do, and then get ready to dash out of the slam. And then, boom, release the charged attack to hit her while you're falling down onto the new platform. And that way, yeah, with that tip, you'll be able to deal a ton of damage and whittle her down a lot easier. Trying to think if there's any other tips. I mean, really, that's about it. Yeah, you can, like I said, just immediately dissipate the shadows if you want, but it's kind of fun to avoid them all. And then, yeah, the purple orbs, easy peasy. Just jump and press L1 on it to parry it away if you so wish. Anyways, hope that guide helped. This was a really fun fight, but definitely one that's going to be challenging for people. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe for more guides. Bye-bye.